What is up? Happy people, nerds. Been a good week. Welcome to the pre-show. It's part of the show we do. Talk about what we're going to do on the show. We're talking about X-Men mostly. X-Men and a lot of new Energon universe. Oh, thanks, Andy. Look, right there at the start. Oh, I guess on YouTube you can comment whenever. Yeah, but Andy is not with us this evening. He is in the great state of Texas. I guess it's great. I saw a meme that said the 1 star on the flag is actually a review, but who am I to judge? I've only been to Texas once and it was for work. I hated that shit. But I had fun there while I was there, outside of, working. But yeah, new Energon Universe books, new X-Men books, food news, double dose food news. Actually not too gross of food news this week. Some pretty cool ones. When Andy's gone. I got my green on for the St. Patty's Day, which I don't even know. It seems more like 420 for people who drink than an actual holiday. It's like Cinco de Mayo too. There's like we need an excuse to get fucking drunk, and fucked up. We don't need an excuse for that. We just, decide to do it. And then we're gonna review some comic books. There's a mixed bag for me this week. Some surprises in there. My number one was, and usually I give my number one to a book that's like really surprising. That I'm gonna read it. It looks okay, but it's like okay, this is cool. This is cool. But we're also going to talk about Transformers number 6, in which our hero wrestles again. I don't know with that book. It's action packed. It's entertaining. It's drawn beautifully. But man, there's really nothing going on. I mean, yes, I know Transformers is just Autobots fighting Decepticons. That's the crux of it. But I don't know. It's suffering from the human thing again. They want us to focus on the humans. I get it. I understand. But humans are boring. Humans are boring. I want to read about giant robots kicking each other's asses. And I mean, I'm getting that, but there's not really any meat on the bone. They're just fighty for fighty's sake. And I mean, I'm cool with that. Go ahead, keep on fighting. But I just want a little bit more. Taylor should be here, aka David will not. Unless he surprises us. Usually, if he was going to surprise us, he would have already done it. But and Adam hadn't come back. I'm not sure why Adam hadn't come back. But he should be back eventually, work. But man, look at Taylor late. We're just gonna do it. Maybe he hit me up. Let me go to Facebook. Maybe I'll just be doing this damn shit by myself. Let's see. No, he's still around. All right, let's do the damn thing, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Sweetie, it's me. It's me.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Wayne's World 2 classic. Watched Wayne's World last night. Oh. Yeah. Greetings, geeks. Welcome back. This is another episode of This Geek in Comics, Outright Geekery's comic book shit talk show. Ooh, there's nobody here. Oh, there he is. Say shit talk show, Taylor.
Oh, shit talk show.
Hey, Gomer and Taylor hour this week. Andy is in the great state of Texas. Great state of Texas.
I mean, there's plenty of nice things about Texas.
You're absolutely right. We're going to talk about something nice that happened in Texas a little later on, just this week. But yeah, I'll start. Dream Scenario. I seen this Nick Cage movie. It's from that A24 who always puts out really good, if not really weird shit, and this is no exception. Basically, everybody starts. Well, not everybody, but like a whole lot of people start dreaming about this guy, and like in their dream, like at the beginning, people are telling dreams where it's just kind of innocent, where they're having a dream, something's happening to him, and he's just like standing there watching this, in some cases, terrible thing happen, And then it starts changing. People start having dreams where he's doing crazy shit to them. And the whole while, this dude's kind of like a successful failure. He's like a professor who loves teaching, but just wants more, has the opportunity to do more, but just can't do it. So it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's kind of like, becoming like a viral sensation for the wrong reasons, that kind of thing. Because he definitely did revel in the fame that it got him, but he was still like wanted what he originally actually wanted to be famous for. And then by the end, the whole thing just goes into a capitalist hellscape that kind of jumps the shark a little bit, but it was still good. Imagine a Nick Cage movie jumping a shark. I mean, who'd have saw it coming?
I mean, hell, but I have heard good things about it. But
It's
then
cool.
again, like,
it's cool to watch. It is cool to watch.
Wasn't that weird thing with Joaquin Phoenix out last year? Wasn't that also A24?
I know he was in Napoleon. I'm trying to think what you're talking about.
No, that was like a Ridley Scott movie. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But the point is, like, that's a good example of one that a lot of people do seem to like, but I thought was just too fucking stupid.
Yeah, I don't think I saw it.
But whatever. I don't even remember the name of it, so I guess that's a bad thing to bring up. But
and more to our angle, I did watch Damsel on Netflix with Millie Bobby Brown. Dope twist to this. I don't even really want to spoil anything, but basically, like every few years or something like that, certain period of time, the prince has to marry marry, and then they kill the princess, sacrifice it for to a dragon. But there's a cool twist to this where everybody is sort of lying to themselves and to each other about what's actually going on, and the people in power are manipulating those without power. It was really surprisingly, above average for like an original Netflix film. It does have Angela Bassett in it and Robin Wright. So
wow.
Yeah, so it's definitely worth a watch. Definitely worth a watch.
Okay.
Cool. What'd you do? Anything fun?
I've started playing through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say. I remember playing Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation. That's how old I am.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2. And it was fantastic. It was the first game I ever played that had like multiple,
oh yeah, I mean,
cartridges.
People probably don't need us to tell them that like Final Fantasy VII was like this big milestone moment for video games, not just for RPGs, but for like video games as a storytelling medium, as just like, an immersive experience. But they're doing something interesting with the remake where like they're not just remaking the old game. There's like this element where like, at least I haven't gone through the games. This is just supposition, but so if this does turns out to be a spoiler, it's because I'm guessing well. But
yeah, accidental spoiler.
Well, I mean, it seems pretty obvious after the remake game that came out a few years ago that Aerith is actually like the same Aerith who was in the original game, but like she managed to put her consciousness earlier in time, and like it's changing the events of the story because there are certain things that come out differently. And
that's weird. So is it kind of like, it's like a not necessarily a retelling per se?
No, so that's what's kind of interesting because like for whatever reason, Square Enix now has like been really weirdly obstinate about just giving us a high res remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah,
but when they finally did it, they're not really doing it. But they are doing something that I think is really clever with it. And I do like what they're doing, but I do feel as though they are like just climbing past the low-hanging fruit to do something like that, they didn't really need to do. I mean, people would have been more than satisfied with just a modern
shot for shot remake.
But they didn't want to do that. What they are doing, I do like. And again, I'm only like speculating so much. Like, I don't think they, at least to the point that in the story, they haven't officially said that, they're going that like they're changing destiny or whatever, but
you can tell it's kind of happening.
Well, the first game was like rather explicit that like that's what they're going to try to do. I just don't know how they're going to do it. Yeah. I assume maybe Aerith is going to live this time. I don't fucking know.
Again, that was the best part of the damn original game. You just didn't. This girl
not necessarily best, but it's memorable.
But dude, I leveled her up. She had all the best shit, and then it's like I'm starting over. I immediately nope. not doing this. Bait and switch.
Well, the way they do the inventory in this game, that can't really happen here because, like,
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good.
but whatever.
It is St. Patty's Day too, so cheers.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess.
Many
I'm
happy
drinking
returns.
scotch. I'm drinking scotch.
You piece of shit! What
I
the fuck
know.
is wrong with you?
I know. Let's do news. X-Men, and then of course, Energon Universe stuff, because I had some announcements. But and we talked about Texas. This is not where Andy was, why he was in Texas, but South by Southwest, they announced the new. Let me get rid of the banner for a minute. They announced the new shit coming for the X-Men stuff. So we're
Yeah.
getting X-Men. That's McKay and Stegman, Jed McKay. I love Ryan Stegman on a fucking X book. Yes, that is awesome. Is
Oh
on
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Jed McKay is kind of
All the time.
we mentioned many times hit or miss.
Yeah.
Like I'm enjoying his Avengers run, but if the X-Men just fight a different fucking mini boss squad every arc, like he's doing with the
Yeah, I'm not
Avengers
gonna
right
enjoy
now,
that.
that's
I'm
it's
not
gonna get
gonna
old
enjoy that.
fast. Yeah.
But it's gonna be Cyclops, Beast, Magneto, Psylocke, Kid Omega, and Temper, who was formerly Oya, Magic, and Juggernaut, and they are gonna be based in Alaska, of all places. Yeah.
Well, hey, get some representation. Get some of these superheroes out of New York. New York's got enough superheroes.
Oh yeah, and
Although I
they're
noticed that
really
one of the books is New York X, which I'm assuming is New York X-Men.
right. No, there is no New York X-Men.
Oh, what's NYX then?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
They haven't announced. They have announced those 6 titles, but they have released no details on those 6
Okay,
titles.
but like Wolverine, Storm, X-Force, and X-Factor, kind of, we know what that is. But Phoenix,
well,
I
I don't
assume,
know.
is
X Factor and even X Force have been different things at different times.
Well, I
I'd like for
suppose,
them
but
to go back to basics with those teams, but
more times than not, X-Factor is investigation shit, and X-Force is like the
enforcers.
assassin squad. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what did he say, McKay? It's not just those 3 titles in this relaunch. There's a lot. My X-Men title is where we'll see the first inklings of what the X-Men will look like in 2024. I'm excited for you guys to see it. Of course you are. You want us to buy it. We'll see what it means to a group of people who are not suited to integrate into the world. So, and then we're going to talk about exceptional X-Men next. And then we'll get back to the Uncanny book. But this is on sale September 4th. It's Eve L. Ewing, not Al Ewing.
Yeah.
And Carmen Carnero. Eve L. Ewing is amazing.
Yeah.
It's my understanding that she is the first Black woman to write full time on an X-Men series.
That's probably
true.
Yeah.
Amazing, which is awesome considering how long they've been around. But Mutant Kind's 2 greatest teachers mold the next generation of X-Men. Kate Pryde has returned home to Chicago. So Exceptional X-Men takes place in Chicago following the war with Orcus. Who else is going to be in here? It's going to be a guy named Bronze, Axo, and Melee, who clearly need training and guidance. Unfortunately for Kate, Emma Frost thinks so as well. So we're going to see some Kate Pryde, some Emma Frost, bouncing off each other. Great idea. Great idea.
They have one of the most interesting dynamics amongst all the different X-Men. I mean, they started off Emma was the villain in Kitty's debut issue, and in the Astonishing X-Men run, and in Jason Aaron's rival X-Men, when it was Wolverine and the X-Men and the Cyclops Rebel X-Men, they've always had an interesting dynamic with each other. But it'd be interesting to see them on the same team, directly about different teaching styles or whatever.
Yeah. And I like the idea of them being in Chicago. I mean, that is just really fun. Really
yeah,
fun.
I mean, these things tend not to last very long, whenever they get outside of New York. But that being said, it is always a good opportunity, and it'll be good to see if they can establish something with lasting presence here.
Yeah. And the big one, always the big one, Uncanny X-Men by finally Gail Simone, the first standalone woman writer on the main X-Men book, Uncanny X-Men. Some people say X-Men is the main book. I disagree.
I was about to say that very thing, actually. But
I 700 issues for Uncanny X-Men.
I think Uncanny X-Men was the original title back in like the Lee and Kirby days, so you can make an argument for that, sure.
Yeah. But I mean, that's 60 fucking years. And finally, Gail Simone, David Marquez is going to do the art. This is on sale August 7th. Outlaw Heroes, once again, the X Men embark on a new mission, making themselves at home in the Big Easy. That's right, New Orleans. It's going to be, of
Yeah,
course.
fuck New York. Wow.
Yeah, right. It's going to be, of course, Rogue and Gambit,
Hell yeah.
Nightcrawler, Jubilee, and Wolverine on explosive superhero adventures, uncanny as ever. So, um, Gail Simone said, I think X fans are special in that we identify with having something different about us, and you're going to feel that in this book. And what it means to have that thing about you that's different or exceptional, we go deep into the emotional part of that. That is really fucking cool. That is Gail Simone speaking
Yeah.
directly to an audience, and I adore that.
Yeah, I mean, Gail Simone is an amazing writer, and it sounds like she is focusing in on something that really does set the X-Men apart from most other superhero teams. That is cool to hear. That is a very encouraging first look at what she's going to be doing with the book here.
Yeah.
So yeah, all these three main books. I'm excited about all three. I like the writers. I like the lineups for all the
Me
teams.
too. That's my biggest thing. I love the creative teams for him. Even though Jed McKay is probably the one that I'm most concerned about.
Yeah.
But Evel Ewing getting that whole Emma and Kate shit, Katie Pride shit, that's her winning, equation there. That's the ingredients that she needs to write a dope book.
Yeah. I mean,
those two characters.
all three of these have definitely piqued my interest. In all likelihood, I'll probably just pick one of the three to stick with. That's how I usually do with the X books.
Right.
But
And it's
hey, I mean,
it's different because they're not doing it like they did with the Krakoan Age. Like we
Yeah.
have 2 books, you're going to get 2 books, and then here's 6 more. Pick and choose,
they
but
did it-
choose wisely.
I was going to mention that like they did do this thing with the Krakoan Age where they started off small and expanded as they went, and eventually there were just so many fucking books. But there were like the tentpole books like X-Men and I guess whatever Hickman was writing at the time.
Well, and I mean,
But,
New Mutants was a surprise.
New Mutants really had like its peaks and valleys, but its peaks were just in the fucking stratosphere.
Yeah. So then we have 6 other books coming in. We talked about Phoenix, Storm, we kind of touched on all of them, but Phoenix, Storm, and Wolverine, pretty basic.
Yeah, I mean, you know what you're getting. Those are about specific characters, and Wolverine always has a book, so that's
he
no
should.
surprise.
His books always sell.
Yeah, I mean, and his book has been one of those tent poles, right? It's been consistently one of the best X books for a really long time now. Are we getting a new writer? Is it still going to be Ben Percy?
We have no information about those other 6 books right now. I'll be honest, I would love to see Ben Percy carry on both Wolverine and X-Force.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that at all, but it's been a few years now,
happen.
so it's probably this seems like a natural baton passing moment.
It does. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love to see Ben Percy keep going, but I wouldn't be surprised, like you're saying, if this is time to get the new blood on the book.
Yeah. And like you said, X Factor and X Force are typically, traditionally.
You can make an educated guess about what those are.
Yeah. I would love to see X Factor return to a style that Peter David brought to the title with the X Factor investigations. I would love to see Jamie Madrox, doing more shit. But that's just me. It's my favorite X-Men run of all time. I adore it. It's so fucking good. But the one that's got me questioning the most is Nyx, NYX. We know this was the title of the book where they introduce Laura Kinney, X-23, who later became Wolverine. And I want to see her run a team. Who knows what it's going to be? Who knows? There's such a good opportunity there to, I don't know, man, do something fun.
This is a book. I honestly forgot that even existed, but now that you mention it, that's it's been years and years since they ran with that title, so it'd be interesting to see what they're bringing up with it now.
Man, that book is still worth so damn much money.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But here's our connecting covers for all 3 debut issues.
So I think we could safely assume that like Past Beast supplants like Fascist Beast that is currently running around.
We can only hope. A couple of things that point out to me is this: how fucking dope does Juggernaut look with the big X on
Yeah,
his fucking head?
he's
That
the
is dope, dude. That is sick look for him, man.
Honestly, I'm excited about this lineup. I love Magneto. I love Quentin, and I'm really excited to see Juggernaut on the X-Men.
Yeah, I mean for actual real, because
Yeah.
we were
Oh,
gonna get him.
they of course did the fake out at the Hellfire Gala
Yeah.
where it was like Jubilee and him and some and the others, and they all just got
Owned, yeah.
they got Nimrodded,
Yeah.
right away.
Magic on this team is a gimme. You always need a teleporter. If you look, every team
always have
has
a
kind of a
telepath.
teleporter.
You always have a teleporter. You always have a bruiser. So you got Juggernaut, and you always have like Cyclops or Jean or one of the go-to leadership X-Men.
Another
You
thing
also have Magneto, which is kind of interesting.
Yes, but another thing that jumps to me about Magneto, and the Death of Magneto book is still underway. He's in what seems to be sort of a wheelchair. You know what I mean?
I was wondering about that. If
Yeah,
is he going
that's
to
interesting.
is he going to kind of have this role reversal with Professor X where he has like the hover chair now?
Yeah.
Which I guess Magneto doesn't really need a hover chair. He can just float himself around as much as he wants, but
Exactly.
well, whatever.
All right, so they say here, all right, it's Cyclops. Yeah, he's there. Beast, Magneto, Psylocke. We see Psylocke. Kid Omega, Magic, and Juggernaut. They're all there. It mentions this Temper, who's formerly Oya. And she's the one back here who's got the fire and ice power. I don't fucking remember her.
She was in Jason Aaron's Wolverine in the X-Men book. That's where I mostly know her.
Okay. I actually read that. I just don't remember her. A lot happened in that damn book.
She was one of the preeminent students, and she also developed a relationship with Quentin. So that might be something that they
something to explore. Yeah.
Although, as far as I'm aware, Quentin is currently spoken for. He's dating one of the cuckoos.
One of the cuckoos, yeah. The least interesting team, and we'll end with Kitty and Emma. The least interesting team to me is honestly the Uncanny X-Men. They're just like, we got Wolverine and Jubilee. Of course, they have a relationship.
Yeah.
We have Rogue and Gambit, obviously. Nightcrawler there is kind of like,
well, everyone's friends
in the
with
Big
Nightcrawler,
Easy, a priest, a religious guy like him living in this, like, the actual city of sin,
yeah.
It's got potential for sure, and I give Gail Simone all the respect because I know she's going to do well with it.
So, yeah, I disagree with you on the lineup here because this has some of my favorite X-Men. Nightcrawler is probably my favorite overall X-Men, and I do like Jubilee. And I'm confident that Gail Simone will be able to use Jubilee where she's not just this fucking gag character.
Thank you. That's what I'm concerned with. Yeah.
I don't think she will be. Jubilee, honestly, is like insanely fucking powerful.
She really is, dude. And in the trailer, which we're not actually allowed to show because it's owned by whatever Marvel, but it does show her like, doing really powerful shit. But
I mean, if she wanted to, she could just she's a better version of Gambit. She could just look at something and make it explode anytime she wants to.
Yeah. But then Exceptional to me is just, it's the book that I think I'm just going to adore the most, honestly. Because it's Kate and Emma playing off of each other, right?
Yeah.
But we also have these other ones. Bronze, Axo is AXO.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but
they're new. They're new.
Okay, good. That's the exact thing I was about to ask. These are all brand new characters.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell they are.
To me, then,
and that's interesting. That's fun to me.
That
to meet
then is like the biggest dice roll here because, like, I think Eve Ewing will do a good job. I trust her to, introduce these characters well, but this is the most unknown territory we have with a team, right? Now we do have Emma and Kitty, and we already were talking about how their dynamic should be enough to carry this book for a while on its own.
Yeah.
But I just hope that these new characters don't suck.
Right. Well, 100%. But what we were talking about earlier, where Emma's the teacher, Kitty is the teacher.
Well, I guess he is Kate now. I keep saying Kitty.
Well, I mean, they're calling her Kitty in the.
Are they going back to
interview?
Okay.
So maybe she is going back, but
she changes names so damn often. Both her superhero name, her her given name are both just constantly in a state of flux.
But I hope she does stick with the Kate pride. It was a cool change. You know what I mean? It was a really cool change.
I mean, going for
a while
there.
She was pivotal in the Krakoan age, dude.
Yeah, Marauders was one of the best books they had going until they went off into fucking space.
Yeah, but again, she herself was so pivotal. She wasn't getting through the gates.
Yeah, she has been one of the
amazing shit. I mean, it's like Hickman had like this long fucking game for her, and it just really worked well for me.
So yeah, you're exactly right because Kitty is one, well, Kate, whatever. Shadowcat is one of the.
Yeah.
She is one of the characters who has really carried the story for a lot of the Krakoan stuff. I mean, with that one issue where she, right after the Hellfire Gala, where she is just okay. Well, you guys want to fucking play it this way? Wait until you
Yeah.
see what I can fucking do here, and she just destroys all these fucking Orcus goons, and it's
Yeah.
brutal. And
Yeah.
like Kitty's always been a character who has never really um, used her very dangerous powers in that way, and to see her just like, well, fuck it, you know.
Even this week, she helped push my top 3. You know what I mean? Honestly, she had moments in the book she appeared in this week, and I loved them. I loved them. Brandon Woods in the chat. Hey, dude, what is up? Speaking of X-Men 97, why is the creator not in the credits? I can't answer that. I
No
have no
idea.
fucking clue what they're doing with that show. It looks like it's going to be dope, but the drama that's being pushed out just weeks before the first episode of that drops is fucking outrageously, ridiculously dumb. What the hell
I
is
haven't really
going
been
on over
following
there?
it, so yeah, I can't really comment on it. I'm afraid.
Well, like they fired the showrunner and the writer director like just weeks before the
And that just
thing is
seems
coming.
like that was one of the big selling points was that it was the original gang back
Yeah.
together to make it. You know.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I heard the first 2 seasons, which are already done, are fantastic, but still. And he said he also likes this reboot. Yeah, dude, I like it when the X-Men reboot. I do. It's always seen. It's fresh but familiar. You give other people, creators opportunities to take you in quote unquote new directions. Which with the X-Men after 60 fucking years, are there any actual new directions?
Man,
But
new
I like
directions
giving
are
them the
overrated.
opportunity.
How you tell the
You're
story
absolutely
is
right.
more important than whatever tropes you're using.
Yep, exactly right. So, yeah, I'm down for all 3 first issues. I'm expecting big things from all of them, all big things. So, lastly, we ushering in the new by letting go of the old. X-Men number 35, Legacy issue number 700. Don't ask me how Marvel gets to 700,
I
but
don't know. I mean, what does and
yeah,
doesn't count? Do like different specials count? Like,
it's
I don't
so
fucking
weird.
know.
It's so weird. But
Does
this is it.
Uncanny count for part of this numbering?
Yeah,
It's whatever.
yeah. But this is dope.
I love this cover. I love Deadpool up there on the
On the
Blackbird. I love,
Blackbird, yeah,
yeah.
dude.
I don't
Who
know that Pog really caught on the way that they seem to think
he
he did,
didn't
but
have to quote unquote catch on. He just had to be there, dude. He just had to be there.
whatever.
He was so stupid.
But no, I mean,
He
I
was so
love
stupid.
this is such a great cover. I mean, it's such a
Yeah.
great like wraparound. It's got all sorts. It's like it's an Easter egg hunt. You know, can you find all the characters and just
Yeah, there's even a flower down there. If you look between Jean and Emma's legs at the bottom, there's one of the Krakoan gate flowers.
well, that's fun.
Yeah, that's fun. If you look at Cable,
Oh,
he's like, look,
it's right next to Gates.
yeah,
That
exactly.
character who's
Yeah.
oh, I can't remember his name. Manifold's mentor, dude.
Yeah, from like the Australian outback and shit like that. Yeah. The attitude that Quentin Quires got just walking in a still image is perfectly drawn. I mean, all right, here on Pog's back, what's her name? The one who can't be beaten.
Iska the
Yeah,
Unbeaten.
Iska the Unbeatable or Unbeaten or whatever. A great character that they need to keep coming back. Just really fun shit they did with her.
Well, she's a fun character who kind of necessitates being used sparingly because like she can't fail at anything she tries her hand at.
Yeah. I would love to see
Which
like a solo
it's a
series
shame.
with her exploring that because
I don't know,
we
man.
were just talking about Gail Simone. I'm pretty sure it was Gail Simone who did the last Domino series. Maybe it was Kelly Thompson. I don't know. But anyway, they talked about Domino's powers in a way like, yeah, I'm lucky, but it still hurts. I didn't die, but I broke my ankle. Shit like that.
Yeah.
Look at her powers in a different way. But yeah, I love this cover. This is coming out before everything ends here in a month or so. But Jerry Duggan, Kieran Gillen, Al Ewing, Chris Claremont, and Gail Simone are all getting little stories in a double-sized issue. Phil Noto, Joshua Cassara, Lucas Wernick, Jerome Pena, Stefano Caselli, Walter Simonson, Lionel Francis, you, and more. Wraparound cover, of course, by Pepe Larraz. This seems like it is like the cherry on top of the Krakoan era Sunday. And yeah, there's no way anybody should miss this. There's no way. It's awesome. It's awesome. All right, so that's it. So yeah, the X-Men, ushering in the new and the old. Hey, see you later,
Oh, it
Andy.
sucks for your internet there, Andy. Have a good one.
Safe travels, bro. Safe travels. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm stoked for the new X-Men. I always enjoy reading X-Men. So that's it for news. Let's do food.
Yummy.
Taylor will be pleasantly surprised that food is not all that gross this week. And
Okay.
one of them he might actually purchase. Not this one. They're doing a grilled cheese and tomato soup for Soup Day, which is April 12th.
I
I'm
mean,
not
sure.
sure
I mean, that is
why
a.
Soup Day is April 12th, but it
I
is.
don't understand that either. Sometimes they just seem truly arbitrary, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if they actually did find a way to get these flavors together in a way that
That works.
yeah, that's palatable, then it's a
Yeah.
good idea. I mean, this is the classic combo, right?
Yeah. So they're giving away, it's probably gone by now on 4/6, but you can find them at a store near you just ahead of the April 12th celebration. My favorite part about the directions here is, usually you make the Campbell's condensed tomato soup with water. They're suggesting do it with milk, and it'll be an even cheesier
That makes
taste.
sense. I mean, I could
It
buy that.
does. It does. Second bit of food news: Dungeons and Dragons is coming out with a Puncheons and Flagons book, 30
Oh
bucks.
God.
It's full of 75 deliciously clever Dungeons and Dragons themed cocktails, um, such as the Necromancer, the Hand of Vecna, cocktails like Candlekeep Tea and Fairy
Wouldn't the hand
Fire.
of Vecna have to have like a fucking zombified hand inside
I
of it?
mean, who knows what garnish you would put in the Hand of Vecna? Maybe a ring or
Like his
something.
fingernails or some shit. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So yeah, just 30 bucks, kind of a cool little, book to add to your
Yeah,
collection
I
if you're
mean,
one of those guys.
I hate pun names, and this one is very much included in that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it seems fun. I mean, it seems like a cute little thing to give a Dungeons and Dragons fan who's also,
Exactly.
who's also a raging alcoholic. So
That's me. That's me. There are virgin drinks in there as well.
I don't believe you.
Let's do a moment. I'm having a moment. More so than others because, oh my gosh, Skybound, we knew it was coming, has announced two new G.I. Joe universe books. First one, start with, no, we'll start with Cobra, Destro. Okay. Dan Waters and Andrea Bresson changed the balance of power in the Energon universe forever with Destro #1. There are also 3 other covers for issue #1, but they're spoiler covers. He's the man behind Mars Industries, the undisputed leader in providing high-tech weapons to world powers for the right price. But the
Mm.
emergence of Energon has changed everything as Destro's ambitions grow. The Crimson Twins, 2 of my favorites, Tomax and Zaymont Paoli, emerge to destroy their competition, and Cobra Commander realizes his current ally could be his future greatest enemy. I love the idea of the bats with a battle android troopers that have been a mainstay in GI Joe since like the second season of the cartoon are running on Energon. That's a perfect in, for that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a good way to bring in a classic GI Joe element into this. Everything has to do with the Transformers angle that they're taking here.
Yeah, so very very cool. I'm stoked about that. I'm stoked about it kind of because Cobra Commander is still going to be in the Destro book.
Yeah,
So
this seems more or less like it's going to be the sequel book to Cobra Commander.
yes, exactly, and I'm okay with that. I'm
Yeah, that's
truly
fine.
truly okay with that. Especially if he's going to play off these like corporate giants and try to get over on them to know we can do more. And yeah, there's a lot of potential there. That's launching in June of 2024. And then, of course, we're going to also get the G.I. Joe book, and it's Scarlet. This one is actually even more compelling because it's going to bring in the Arashikage. We see her doing all kinds of cool missions here. Look, she's dressing up to go to a party. And then there's Jinx, right? Telltale, Arashikage. I don't know how to say it. But the
All right.
tattoo and Jinx. Good news. Kelly Thompson is going to be writing the Scarlet book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And artist Marco Ferrari. This is out June 5th. Scarlet is about to take on the most dangerous Black Ops mission of her career, infiltrating the mysterious rising power in Japan known as the Arashikage clan. Her one lead is her former partner, Jinx, turned Arashikage enforcer. Now Scarlet must use her op skills to survive undercover and discover a shocking weapon that could change the balance of power on Earth. Yeah, that sounds like exactly what you want from
Yeah, I
these
mean that
early
sounds fun.
goings of
Now,
G.I. Joe.
as someone who's not super steeped in the GI Joe lore, is Arashikage, is that like Storm Shadow?
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
clan that both Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes historically in most of the
I mean, I doubt
continuity
they're
have been
changing
in.
it here. Sure.
Yeah, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. There's no reason to, because Jinx, inevitably becomes a member of GI Joe. Storm Shadow, after some time in the comics, joins GI Joe as well. So there's all kinds of opportunity here. There's like 3 secret covers for this as well. I'm sure it's going to be Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes.
I
Why
mean,
wouldn't it?
if you're doing the book that's like in their corner of the GI Joe universe, why wouldn't they show up?
Exactly.
I actually would have bet money that Snake Eyes is going to be the next book they do. But
Well, he's going to
honestly,
be in
yeah,
this book. I think he's
sure he
going to
is.
be
I'm
like
sure
a
he is.
big guy in this book for
And
sure.
this is a good way to do it. I mean, honestly,
Yeah, backdoor Snake Eyes a little bit.
Snake Eyes being silent does make it hard for him to be the protag of any book. And
Although the GI Joe, Real American Hero, the silent issue is still like the best-selling issue, but you can't do
for
a
sure,
silent
That's
issue.
not every issue
every
could be the
issue,
silent issue. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But no, I mean, this looks like it'll be a lot of fun. I'm definitely enjoying the Joe side of things more than the Cobra side of things so far in the Energon universe.
Mhm.
But again, that's because Cobra Law and all the stuff for Cobra Commander doesn't mean jack shit to me. So
Yeah, there's some Dreadnoks in the next issue that do some awesome shit. I won't spoil the next issue of Cobra Commander, but I've already read it. It's amazing. It's great. All right, so Transformers number 6, Danny Warren Johnson doing the writing and the art.
yeah, we might talk about this later.
Oh yeah, we might talk about this later. This is just a big old wrestling match between Optimus Prime and fucking Devastator, and
Oh yeah, I mean, this is rad as hell.
oh, it is, dude. Drawn beautifully. The sacrifice by Sparky here,
Yeah,
I don't quite understand, but I don't think
didn't think that you could. I didn't think that's how Sparks worked. I didn't think
either.
that.
I don't.
I mean, I guess they are like life force, so I don't
They
know.
are, but I
It's
mean,
not.
maybe he's building lore with
I
this
don't.
moment.
Sure, you know what? That's a good point. That like whatever rules existed before don't necessarily have to apply here.
Yeah. But man, I mean, it is just a knockdown, drag out, fucking wrestling match.
Oh yeah, like full power Optimus once he stands up, and yeah, you see him. He gets his trademark gun, and he's got Megatron's energy cannon just fucking wrecking shit in that last panel where he just rips off Devastator's goddamn finger.
I mean, I don't know if you've noticed why I picked this panel. Do you not see the words in the background on this?
Yes,
you know the song.
I fucking
I do. You
shit.
fucking ain't right. I know that song.
Oh
that is
yeah,
an awesome
that song.
It's really fun for Danny Warren Johnson.
Yeah,
to do
I mean,
that.
Danny Warren Johnson, like you can't sleep on his sound effects panels. He likes to sneak in these like silly little ones in the background like that.
Yeah, his onomatopoeia game is maybe best in the damn business, man. But then, I mean, he just whips Devastator's ass.
Oh yeah, and you were mentioning wrestling, but yeah, we get drop kicks, we get fucking I forget the name of that move, but like
it's just like a power slam, kind of.
Yeah,
this move right here, it's kind of a power slam.
I think it has a more proper
name. It probably does. Yeah,
but yeah, he throws it from the top rope.
Yeah. So now we're only 6 issues in. We're done with the first arc, but can I say, Danny Warren Johnson, I love what you're doing here. The action is incredible. I need more meat on these bones, man. I need more character. I need more to know what's actually, going on.
I categorically disagree. He has been doing great character work. I mean, Optimus comes off as like this awesome, cool guy, but he also doesn't come off as an idiot. Like even at the end of this issue, right? Where it's
he's got heart. I
do believe in peace, but I'm not an idiot. You made a mistake. Fucking Soundwave. But and I also like the thing with like a Cliff Jumper. He had the moment to take out Starscream, but he just couldn't bring himself to do it. It's just
Yeah, I actually didn't like that. I wanted Cliff Jumper to murder his ass. I mean, I don't know. I
But
guess
that's
you're
the
right.
difficult thing. Because like,
Maybe it's me. Danny Warren Johnson is actually telling good stories, good characterizations.
I
I'm
like the
just
way that they
leaning
handled
so
that
hard into
moment.
what I want it to be
You
instead of
can't judge
what
it
it is.
based off of what you would have written if you were writing it.
Exactly. But again,
But
there's no argument about
But
this
look
book.
at this
It is
shit. Fucking
fucking
Devastator,
awesome.
like ragdolling Optimus, like grinding him into the damn ship. And I also really love that moment after Cliff Jumper does it, because Carly isn't like, no, I understand. You made the right call. She's like, what the fuck is
She's
wrong with you?
pissed.
Yeah.
She's pissed.
And I like how
Rightfully
they like,
so.
he's telling a good job telling a story about war, about how it's hard to be a good person. And like
Anymore.
Optimus is trying his damn
That's
best,
good.
but like his hand is being forced. And I think he's doing a good job writing Optimus. We're like, yes, Optimus is a good person, but he's in a war, you know?
Yeah,
And I also like the
sometimes
thing was like, I also like how they didn't treat it as like, no, Cliff Jumper, you did the right thing. They leave that pretty ambiguous. Did he do the right thing?
Mm-mm.
It's hard to say. They do not give a clear answer to that one way or the other. You know?
I think it's going to end up haunting him down the road. You know,
Well,
I mean,
I already saw like the next few pages of the next issue, and it looks like Starscream's not going to be their problem anymore. But
yeah, I know.
But
Again, another fantastic issue. I'm really enjoying everywhere the Energon universe is going, except Void Rivals. But yeah, Transformers is fucking amazing. The Duke book has been so damn good. The Cobra Commander book, I mean, even if it does lean into nostalgia a little bit harder, I can't get enough of that.
oh, it's not
shit.
bad. It's not bad. It's just it hits
Yeah.
it hits the least for me. You know?
Yeah. Man, him drawing Devastator though was great. I should have grabbed it after that.
That was such a good way to have like a finale battle, right? Like he's still building up Megatron. We're still like getting to that eventually, I'm sure. But like people know Devastator. People know that Devastator is a big fucking threat. And that was such a good way to, you know, have this big high stakes finale to the first arc.
Yeah, I think Danny Warren Johnson is killing on this. I think he's doing great things. I don't know. Maybe I want him to slow down just a little bit. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. Don't give us as much action for an issue. Give us more to lean into, the heartfelt moments, character
He's
moments.
been doing
I don't
that.
give a fuck about any of these humans, dude. Sparky died. I couldn't care less. I understood why he did it. It was to get everything pushed forward, you know, to the next thing.
Man,
But
just
hey,
we
Jeff,
gotta agree
Jeff's
to
here.
disagree.
Thanks for the like,
Oh,
Jeff.
yeah, Joe. But like we got to agree to disagree on that one, because I think the human characters have been a good contribution to the story so far. Normally when I'm watching a Transformers thing, it's like, get these fucking humans off the screen. They're so annoying. But these humans, they do have pathos. And I think he did a good job with Sparky here, because like that in that last issue, you got to think of this as like a collective, right? Because in that last issue, when him and Optimus are having that heart to heart about like, you know, like Sparky and him are both old soldiers who have been through the shit. And like, I love that thing where Sparky's like, you've been doing this for a lot longer than I have. Does it make any sense to you? And Optimus like, I wish it did, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. Maybe I do need to look at it in the overall bigger, you know, picture. But hey, Jeff, happy Sunday. Yep, happy St. Patty's Day and all that.
Indeed.
Cool. Yeah. So we'll have more on a moment next week, because Coco, I think it's Coco number 4, number 5. Anyway, let's do top 3. Comics were weird this week. Honorable mentions: Fish Flies number 5, another dope issue by Jeff Lemire. Ultimate Black Panther, we might talk about later, but it was really fun. My actual honorable mention, I wanted to mention Ghost Rider Final Vengeance. Ben Percy, Danny Kim. The new Ghost Rider is a single mom. Nope. It's not a single mom. A dead, decapitated frost giant. Nope, that didn't happen either.
I also like how that's like, oh yeah, and Thor just killed me.
Yeah, oh, and Thor
like, just did that completely off screen. It's like,
yeah, right.
They're setting up for like this big battle in the next page, and then Thor just killed me.
Yeah,
you know, so I missed the next step.
Yeah, a homicidal alien AI used to teach high schoolers. Nope, it's the fucking Hood. Lame dash O.
I fucking hate the Hood.
I hate the Hood.
Still, and like, I feel as though this one was a little too just like carnage porn.
It was. It was like it seemed like such a stupid primer that we didn't need. We didn't need to say, "Oh, Mephisto's visiting all of these folks and doing this," and just choose the hood and move on. We already knew it was going to be the fucking hood. Just move
Well, that
on,
being
man.
said, it was still
Shit.
it was still well drawn. You know,
Oh, it
Daniel
was.
and like
Yeah,
Ben Percy does a good job. Like
getting us from point A to point B.
yeah,
Sure,
laying on like chewing the scenery as we went and everything. But
yeah,
yeah, it was a little too like it was just the spectacle of all this like
yeah,
fucking fiery brimstone bullshit throughout the
yeah.
issue. Like
I would
that
have
the part
loved
with
for it to be a single mom. Are you
the
kidding
part with
me?
the mom was probably the highlight of
It
the
was
issue because
dope.
like
I
she
thought it was like, oh my
fucking
god, the single mom is going to be the Ghost
and then
Rider.
she
What
just
is she going to
melted the
drive? A
mother-in-law's
station wagon?
face. That I I also like I'm not too steeped in my Ghost Rider lore lately, but I did not realize that Zarathos was such a I guess force for
Player,
evil.
like a player, yeah.
No, because
I didn't
he's an
realize either.
angel. He is an actual angel of
Yeah,
vengeance. He's not like this demon who relishes in like carnage and bloodshed. He's supposed to be about just punishing the guilty, but he's going around just like fucking everyone's shit, whether they deserve it or not.
yeah. I'm still on board. I'm anxious to see where Ben Percy takes it.
Oh, sure,
I'm
sure.
willing to give him enough
I
of
mean, Ben
the doubt.
Percy's like when Ben Percy is having an off day, it's still a pretty solid issue,
Oh, yeah.
and I think this is a good example of that.
Yeah. All right. So my number 3 this week, Jerry Duggan, Lucas Warnick, Fall of the House of X number 3. Best issue yet. Stuff actually fucking happens in this.
What Emma does to fucking Dr. Stasis in this issue is so fucked. Like,
That was my
he
favorite part of
deserved
it.
it. He
Because,
absolutely
yeah,
deserved it. It was great. It
yeah,
was great, but like, ooh boy.
yeah. I love
I'm
the
glad
X
that it
in
happened
the
to such a bad
sky.
guy because that is so. Yeah, that was such a cool like
Yeah. And
fucking
then, oh my
hoorah moment,
gosh.
you know?
Yeah, Emma just murders him. But Shadowcat in this first, like, oh, I've got one of the most
Oh yeah,
powerful. He's
yeah.
like, oh, you
Fucking
mean
Stasis
this?
is over here trying to talk shit, like like
Yeah.
you can do nothing to me. I have a side blocker, and she's like, "Oh, you mean this side blocker? You fucking
Yeah.
idiot!" Oh
Yeah.
no, you know. Oh,
But
and
then Nimrod
fucking
still is winning. Still, and there's still shit to learn. What is he building? What has he built
yeah,
out
and
there?
this was a real tragic moment because like
It was.
that was this
This is it's
that
our old man.
Nimrod started off as the attempt for her to bring back her husband,
Yeah.
and then like it's a pretty
It's sad.
it's a sad way for her to go.
It's
I mean, she
tragic. Yeah,
sucks.
like you said.
I mean, she's
Oh
a
yeah, she's
fucking
terrible.
she's a
She's just
shitty human
ignorant.
supremacist. She's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
she's an idiot too, but
Yeah.
she's one of those like genius idiots like you see in comics all the time.
Right. Right. But yeah,
But
it's really
yeah.
moving in places. I'm anxious now to see where everything falls off. On those 2 books, Fall of House and Power of Down, whatever the fuck. But like Dead X-Men, I don't give a shit. Like even
I mean, sure. I
Resurrection of
mean,
Magneto, I just want to read the last issue to see how he comes back finally.
categorically disagree on that one. I love Resurrection of Magneto.
No, it's been good, but it's like it's hard for me to care really. Even though now that we have the actual X-Men announcement for the From the Ashes or Out of the Ashes, whatever the hell it is, Magneto coming back and being in that chair, dude, I'm telling you, being in that chair is like a big deal. How are they going to bring him back? Is something going to happen with him, Professor X becoming like a actual cool combined character?
Oh, like a good onslaught type of thing? I don't know, maybe.
I don't know, maybe.
But we didn't see Professor X in any of those previews, I noticed.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Cool. So Taylor, honorable mentions and number 3.
Okay, I'll do an honorable mention for Black Widow and Hawkeye, number 1.
Oh yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked all the I like jumping around the timeline and everything.
I have not been keeping up with Black Widow.
I had no idea she had a fucking symbiote now. When the hell did that happen?
Weird. But yeah, action
I
packed.
haven't been reading this since Kelly Thompson's run ended.
Yeah.
But
yeah, really fun, action packed.
Yeah, I love them jumping around through
Bobby
time.
Moore showing up in
They
it.
had they had good dialogue from both Widow and Hawkeye. It was a solid debut. I was just momentarily thinking of like, Natasha has a fucking symbiote now. When the hell did that happen?
Yeah, I had no clue.
Man, that's interesting. I mean,
she's working it.
She is a spider themed character, so there's kind of an in there for a symbiote. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, that's really a stretch. It shouldn't, but whatever.
It worked for me. You know.
It was good. Yeah. Wolverine, number 45. This was really more of an issue of Sabretooth than Wolverine.
Yeah.
That being said, this is still a really fun story. It's really cool to see Quentin and Victor like doing their shit together and just
It's so violent and so weird. I
Yeah.
like it, but man, it's
this
was
kind
bad.
of
Everywhere you look, it's like, man, that is a terrible, terrible thing going on.
this is
Every
kind of a
page.
downtime issue because Wolverine is just now getting on the island. But yeah, it's been
Yeah,
it's
been
still a
fun.
good read.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I'll throw out another honorable mention for Avengers Twilight number 4. Mostly
Oh, I figured this be higher up for you.
Well, it's not in my top 3 just because this is sort of a bridge issue. You know, we had Thor and Kamala show up at the end of the last one, and we get this awesome like
I love this
Avengers assembled moment here and everything. But mostly this is a downtime issue.
Yeah.
You know, this is the Red Skull goes up to James, like, by the way, I am in fact the Red Skull.
Yeah, this was the villain monologue issue.
Yeah.
You know,
this was the
just saying,
villain monologue.
I'm
This is
the villain.
Yeah, and this is the good guys like getting their shit together and like formulating the plan and everything. So it's not enough happened in this issue for me to put it in my top 3. That being said, it's still good. This is
it's
great fucking story. This is my favorite Avengers thing going on right now by far.
Oh, for sure. 100%. I had a problem with the new Avengers. I don't even want to call them the new, maybe lowercase.
Oh yeah, that was like I was looking forward to them like getting a dust up with them.
I was looking for them to fight. I wanted to learn who they were.
They are purely the product of propaganda. So like I guess that's Chip Zdarsky saying like, nope, I ain't giving. Now that being said, this is going to end in 6 issues. We would have only had like 2 issues left for them to like establish them. We barely
seen anything. 12 issues.
So honestly, it does. Honestly, yeah, I could have read this for 12 issues, but
they should have been 12 issues.
Since this is the way they went, it kind of works with the way he's been telling the story so far because they just show up on news bites, you know?
It's all manufactured.
So
it's all fake.
Yeah, they reveal that they are in fact a pure piece of propaganda. They just they exist only in video clips.
I mean, I was saying that what a genius turn for Zdarsky to like take, you know?
Yeah.
He knew, oh no, the readers are gonna want to see these guys. Just wait, I'm gonna disappoint them. But still do it in a way that makes the story even more poignant.
It's in he did it in a way where it works with the storytelling he has done so far. We don't even know, like we have not gotten a second of them like behind the curtain being like, yeah, this new Captain America, I can't wait to go like, fucking kill him or whatever. Yeah. We didn't get any of like that shit where you see the 7 on the boys when they're like not in front of the cameras. We haven't gotten any of that because they in fact do not exist off of the cameras, these guys.
Jeff in the chat, he's loving this Avengers book too. Yeah, there's no reason not to.
Absolutely. It's been good.
Amazing.
Shit.
It's amazing.
But yeah, my number 3 this week though is Ultimate Black Panther, number 2.
It was so fun. Great follow up.
This is a real hoot. I'm definitely enjoying all of the hard decisions you're making during war, and like it's letting T'Challa warp him into doing like some shitty fascisty things, like he's doing like a surveillance state and secret police and all this shit. But then he's also going out into the field and like fighting fucking Moon Knight army and everything like that. And the end of the issue where Storm just comes in, that's the big reveal.
Yeah. Man, out of all of the different iterations of Storm that there have been, it's so cool that they found a new one.
Yeah.
And it's uniquely Storm, but still unique, It's so well done. So well done.
Yeah, it's an interesting angle where, like,
on that character.
Where we have Storm come in. It's an opportunity to do something that you can't do in the normal universe. Where like we have a Storm here who has nothing to do with the X-Men, as far as I can tell. Might not even have much lean into her mutant identity. She is going full on. This is a goddess. She has shown up. She has smoked mortals in her first appearance here. And they're describing her as like a woman of light.
Yeah. Brian Edward Hill murdering the writing. I love it. It's so fucking good. Caselli just really trying to keep up. He's excelling at keeping up, but this is really like a writer-driven story, and I love those kind of books.
Also, I will say,
like, depth there. There's depth there.
If I had impenetrable armor that I could wear, I'd cover my mouth.
Yeah, I wouldn't Batman it.
Yeah.
I would not Batman it at all. I'd be full front mask.
But I guess they wanted it to look different than like the 616.
Yeah. I mean, they still could have done that in a different way, but
they could have. I don't know. It still looks cool. But
Yeah.
just like from like a practicality standpoint, you know, you
Yeah,
have
cover up,
the
dude.
greatest defensive covering you could possibly have,
Yeah.
but you're going to leave like a spot where they not only just like any spot of your body, a spot where they could probably kill you if they got the right
Yeah.
angle, you know? Whatever.
He'll address that maybe. I don't know.
I
My
doubt
number
it.
2, Sons of Star Trek, Morgan Hampton, Angel Hernandez. Again, the Star Trek books of late have been telling really fun, compelling stories, but leaning so hard into the nostalgia that longtime fans of Trek, you're gonna find it irresistible. You're gonna find it irresistible. Okay, so Tuvix, that's Tuvix, dude. So Q Junior, if you remember who Q Junior is, episode of Voyager, Q to save the continuum has a kid, famously played by John Delancey's actual son in that episode. Um, he comes up and he wants to take Jake, Nog, and Alexander. Jake Sisko, Nog, who is Rom's son from Deep Space Nine, and Alexander Roshenko, Worf's son. Put them through the ringer and teach them a lesson. Right? Basically, that's what they're trying to do. So he pushes them into another universe where things are wildly different. Okay, so that's Morn. That's Tuvix. That's Beckett Mariner from Lower Decks. That's Doctor, not Nurse, Doctor Ogawa. That dude next to him, that's Captain Shaw from the 3rd season of fucking Picard. And yes, that's Jadzia fucking Dax, among others, because the captain of the ship that they're on is fucking Gul Dukat.
Oh my fucking god.
It's crazy. So they're fighting the Breen, right? Like things changed. It seems like in this timeline there was no Dominion War. And if there was no Dominion War, Captain Sisko never rises to his occasion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think things changed, but they're unwilling to do anything. Alexander, Jake, and Nog are like, no, Q, we're not doing shit. And the ship explodes. They lose the fight against the Bream. And then Q's like, nope, we're going to do it again. And they all reset at the very first
Oh,
scene.
so he's groundhogging them.
Yeah,
Groundhog
he's
Daying
Groundhog
them.
Daying them. Yeah. So he's like, no, you're going to do this or not. So I just really like seeing all these familiar faces. You know, I always say about comic
What
books when it comes.
fucking universe does a fucking sleazebag like Ducat become a goddamn Federation captain?
The same way that the Dominion War had Cisco rise to the occasion, maybe that was actually what caused Ducat's downfall, those series of events. And again, I think this gives them a great opportunity to explore these characters in almost a what if that can still carry on through Alexander, Jake, and Nog into other series after this one. Them having that experience and not
Do you
having
think
just
that's what
being,
it's going to be? Is like
I don't know.
every arc is going to be Q Junior shunting them off to some other mirror type thing?
I would love that. I think this is going to be more of like your 5-6 issue miniseries just going on a single adventure. But yeah, I would love to see more of Q Jr. I would love to see more of Nog, especially, outside of Chief O'Brien. He might be the most important member of Starfleet in the history of Starfleet. But I just really love what IDW is doing, grabbing onto the nostalgia and making something cool with it. Because really, that's all Star Trek's got going for it is all of this nostalgia. If it can work if you have brand new characters. We've seen that with Lower Decks, but even Lower Decks,
yeah, I mean,
is pulling from nostalgia.
I feel like poor Discovery just doesn't get the credit it deserves because
it's amazing.
That was like a fucking lightning bolt from heaven when it first came out, and it's kind of gotten lost in the shuffle since then. But I still sing its praises.
I love Disco. I can't wait for the last season. I wish it wasn't the last season. The only thing I can say about Disco is that Jonathan Frakes is not credited as an actor in any of the episodes. I say that because since The Next Generation, Jonathan Frakes has played a character in every series, at least one episode where he got to play himself. In Deep Space Nine, he played his transporter doppelganger, and in Voyager, Q pulled him from the past, from the present, pulled him across the galaxy so that he could talk about another Q who was on trial. and of course he's been on Lower Decks. Everybody's been on Lower Decks,
And then
but
he was famously on Enterprise for the
oh yeah, I
finale.
don't even like talking about that. I don't
He
even
was
like
there. I
talking.
mean, we're
Yeah,
talking about his
he
appearances.
was,
That was one of
but
them.
I don't like talking about that. That was a terrible finale, man.
No, if you're gonna talk about it, if you're gonna put a
I
quarter in the
know.
jukebox, we're gonna sing the whole song.
So disrespectful though to that show to make it just a big. Oh, never mind. What is your number 2 this week, Taylor?
My number 2 is Transformers, number 6.
Oh, I think I deleted all the Transformers.
That's fine. We basically already talked about it,
Yeah,
but
we
like
talked about it.
this was just a big slobber knocker fight, but it was a hell of a fight.
It was
You know,
great,
like
dude. Daniel
fucking
Warren Johnson going off.
yeah, I mean Optimus Prime like throwing him over the top rope and
Yeah.
like doing the fucking like drop kick and
Yeah.
ripping his goddamn finger off.
Yeah.
This was
as
a
soon as-
big like Optimus like comes out of this with a lot of heat, you know.
Yeah. As soon as
I
I
also
saw
love
that,
how we can just use wrestling terms to
I
describe
know
everything
it's
that's
so
happening.
wild. It's so wild. But as soon as I saw in the background, the song, I lost it. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I know what he's doing.
I
And then
had
I'm
to
like telling my voice assistant, play that song, damn it.
I'm glad I was reading the page twice because I missed it the first time. I was like, "Oh my god, that's so much fun!"
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
so cool that he put that in there. It was so fun.
I love it when artists get cheeky with the onomatopoeias. You know,
And it's really easy to do in Transformers and G.I. Joe. He knows his audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He is his own audience. So yeah, just brilliant. Very good. All right, my number 1 this week is Derek Kirk Kim doing writing and the art on a very surprisingly great book called The Last Mermaid over at Image Comics. Okay. It's an adventure story starring a mermaid walking/driving around. You see the tires here. This thing transforms into like a car in like this mech suit in water in a post-apocalyptic world searching for we have no fucking clue. The first issue did not tell us what she was on dry land looking for. But I mean, it was action-packed, edge of your seat sort of storytelling because look, she's like looking for water. She's got like this pet. What are those things? The Loxel. I can't pronounce the fucking word. It's like
I
a
don't
fish,
know,
but
man.
it's like a fish, but it's got like little things in it.
Axolotl.
Axolotl, yeah, called Lottie, and they're walking around looking for fresh water. So of course she can replenish her capsule here. There's no other characters in the first issue except her and this axolotl. But on the bridge in San Francisco, there's like this ninja-looking character on there, like looking at her, right? The reason this is on there, there's very little dialogue, and the art is fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, this is gorgeous
This
stuff
was
here.
so well done. I'm just really excited to see where this goes. I didn't think that a book called The Last Mermaid, written by a Derek Kirk Kim, who I had never fucking heard of before, would have been this fun. And it was outrageously fun. Very, very cool book. I can't wait for the next issue. Taylor, I can't even guess what your number 1 book is this week.
My number 1 book this week is The Immortal Thor, number 8.
I think I have Thor. I do.
This is the sort of stuff that I am such an easy mark for.
I was about to say you are an easy Thor mark with the Gaia shit.
Yes,
you are.
but not
Yeah,
just that, but like this also is reminiscent of all the stuff Al Ewing's been doing with like the Defenders book, where we get like this the primordial creation story. You know, like this is such an awesome take on Gaia that like we're used to seeing like the family friendly version of Gaia. You know, like the pleasant anthropomorphic one,
where she's
but
wearing a dress made out of dried autumn leaves.
Yeah, shit like that.
Yeah,
but like. Al Ewing does a good job reminding us in this issue that like nature can be a cruel, harsh thing as well.
And Midgard itself.
Yeah. Like he's like looking at Gaia through the lens of her being this like primordial, like foundation of mythology type of thing. She is the Earth Mother. And like it tells the story of her fighting all these other like elder gods who are more concepts than like sentient beings. Like Toranos is just like an embodiment from the previous issues, just the embodiment of like wrath and storm and things like that. And like Utgard Loki shows, who apparently that's not his real name. So that's a fun take. But like, and now Ewing just has a real talent for using this like high fantasy, like epic language when talking about these things. and it just fit in perfectly. And of course, at the end of the issue, we have Thor just like, she's like, oh, I already did every favor I'm going to do for them by putting you in a position to do something about it.
Yeah,
you know?
she's like, it's on you, son. It's on you, boy.
Like, you are the mercy I am showing them, because I am giving you a chance to do something about it.
Yeah. And this is also leaning into the Roxxon shit a little bit. I like that. The one thing I hated about this book, it was short, dude.
Well, we had a lot of these big, like, 2-page spreads, so it took up a lot of the page count doing, which I'm not complaining, because a lot of this shit is fucking awesome.
Yeah, but
I also love, like, are they teeing up that first son of hers, who is like apparently like the most badass of all her children, apparently, even compared to Thor.
Yeah, and I think that's going to lean into the Roxxon stuff. I think that's the dude who becomes like the Roxxon version of Thor. That's been teased, for a while. But I love what Ewing is doing here, because he's setting up what he's going to do next. You know what I mean? He's like, no, Gaia is not like this person who loves you. She's trying to kill you every day. The planet Earth is trying to fucking murder you, for better or worse. But I've given you a protector.
Well, I mean, yes
it's
and no. Like, yes and no, because like she doesn't bear anyone any malice.
No, exactly.
But she does not have any compassion for you either.
Yeah.
Mother Nature is neither kind nor cruel. And like seeing Gaia manifest in that version is really interesting here. Yeah.
I think that's the reason why this was such a good issue, because of the twist on Gaia. It's Ewing establishing new lore, establishing new ideas in a mythos that's literally thousands of years old, kind of, but is definitely 60 fucking years old. You know what I mean? And
he also does a good job pulling. Like, we talked about this in that last issue too, where like it's doing a great job pulling not just from like real mythology, but also Marvel's mythology.
Yeah.
Like they mentioned in this issue, a name I did recognize, Demogorge.
Yeah.
I remember that. I think that was Greg Pak's run when he was doing like with Hercules and everything.
Great panel of that character too. Great.
Yeah. Like I remember that character from, I guess it was like 10 years ago now, but yeah, he is doing some great pulls, and I just fucking love this book. I'm having fun with it issue after issue.
I mean, it's very early in the run, but again, it's hard to not say that this is going to be one of the best fucking Thor runs of all time. It's already so great.
It's got the potential to go that distance for sure.
It does. Awesome, man. That is it for us. I can't believe we filled the full hour. I didn't think we would with just you and me, but man, we can just rabble.
Evidently.
So thanks for hanging out.
Especially when I had the one news story. It was just X-Men.
Dude, I know. It was. Yeah. I'm so glad I didn't add anything else. But again, thanks for hanging out, everybody. We really appreciate it. If you like what we're doing, check out what the Bullies are doing. Leroy and Eli got a show coming up on this channel and others. They're talking about comics, of course, but also video games, movies, TV, pop culture, all in and of itself. Check them out. Please, if you want to see more of what they got going and what we got going, outrightgeekery.com. Links to all the everything, socials, videos, audios, the Bullies, and the group. Andy's not here tonight, but he is definitely running the group, and he's doing a great job of it. Go to Facebook, search Outright Geekery, join the group. You can join in on that fun. Come back tomorrow about 7:15, thereabouts. We're going to talk about all the new books coming out this week, and there's some good ones. I don't think it's as good as this week, but there's still some good books coming out. Yeah, what else we got? I don't know.
Really,
thanks for hanging out. But most of all,
thanks on there.
Thanks to this guy for hanging out with this guy.
No problem.
We are going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
I'm glad I haven't retired, though. Man, I know you're going to talk about it.